been called out to a client's house who is a crime scene investigator. We come to her house 3 or 4 times a year because she brings her work home with her. They are experiencing voices, radio sounds, arguing, screaming. Upstairs they have a lot of stomping and noises going on. We're going to take you inside and let them tell you what's been going on.
Good.
Most of the activity, we understand from the client, is taking place on the banister here with the stairs. A lot of it's going on in the master bedroom, but most of the noise is taking place upstairs in the room just above the living room. So we're going to go up there and take a look. This is the most active room in the house, where they are constantly hearing something moving around, jumping around, footsteps. I don't think there's any light in here, so we'll have to come back with night vision. This is where we will be starting our investigation. Back here, we have the master bedroom, and we also have another room here. They get a lot of activity in the master bedroom when they're trying to go to sleep at night. So this is where a lot of the voices, the arguing they hear, the radio sounds, they're all taking place when they go to bed at night. So we will also do an investigation in this room, see what we can come up with.
Okay. That's the one that looks at you wherever you go.
Yeah, if you're standing on this side, she's looking at you. If you're standing on that side, she's looking at you. That's kind of creepy.
Definitely want one hanging on my wall.
Kids are creepy. So often, when one of them's here alone, they hear the other one talking, entering the house, doing things that they normally do, and they're positive that they're here, but they're not. So we have a playful little spirit that wants to mimic homeowners. Also, they have some banging on the wall here in the living room. Most of this furniture, as you can see, pictures, all came from New Orleans. So we'll check that out as well, see if we have any attachment to objects.
Good.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Hear the railing shake a lot. That would happen a lot. And then a couple of my friends would come over, and certain friends of mine, they would feel it, especially if they were walking up those stairs. They would feel it touching them, and then it started touching me in the kitchen. It would like touch my shoulder, it would touch my hair, and it would be over a second.
And you were seeing shadows then?
Well, I started seeing the shadows only in this room, in the dining room. And that's when I started getting scared, because it never really showed itself to me. And then after a while it started coming more frequently.
But when we came out and cleansed it, then there you went for...
For a little while it was good. We didn't hear anything, and then slowly it started coming back, and it eventually made its way into my bedroom, and that's when I started seeing the dark shadow in my bedroom.
Do you feel this is something different or something new?
This is different.
Okay.
This one is different. This one, I think it feels like it's trying to communicate with him, because he's hearing it, it's doing it to him when I'm not home. And before...
You think it's trying to scare him?
I think it's trying to freak him out. And it...
Is it working?
A little bit.
Right.
Because I've never dealt with anything like this. I just thought it was all, you know, I seen the stuff on TV and heard about it, and I just thought it was...
You just didn't think it was real, it
I
was
was
TV?
just like, yeah, I was just, and then when it started happening to me, and she hadn't told me anything about what was going on or anything like that, you know. because we just started dating, and you know, if she'd have told me about
You
ghosts
didn't
in the
want
house,
to tell him because you
yeah,
were
I
scared.
thought
He wasn't
she
gonna
would-
come in the house if I
thought-
told him
I
that.
thought she'd have been crazy, and
Right, right.
so then when I was at home the one night, I talked to her on the phone. She was on her way home, and I was in the kitchen, and then I heard the door open, keys hit the table, and the door shut, and the bell ring. I heard somebody walk down the hall to the bathroom, and I heard the bathroom door shut. And I called for her and didn't hear anything, and called again, and I went back to look for her, and she wasn't back there. And so then I went and looked outside, and her car wasn't here, and so then I was like, I kind of looked around, and I called her on the phone, and you know, I told her, I was like, I just heard you come in the house. And you know, and she's like, well, I've got something I need to tell you about the house. And then she gets home and tells me about it, and I'm like, you know, I was kind of still, you know,
Right.
whatever about it. And then, you know, we'd be back there laying in bed, and I'd hear chatter and like conversations and stuff. And she, you know, she would just be quiet about it, and I would ask her, I was like, do you hear that? She's like, yeah, I hear it all the time. And then we'll hear like a radio playing or something like that, or, you know, and then like I hear the dog walking, and the dogs would be outside.
So it's pretty much mimicking things in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell me about the other night when you guys had the argument. You were on the couch.
Oh, she had worked late, and she come home, and I was in the bed asleep, and the dog had gotten to bed, and so she come out and was on the couch, and she was hearing stuff on the couch. She kept hearing chatter and hearing stuff upstairs and stuff like that.
It was really loud in here.
And you felt someone was arguing.
It sounded like there were a few people, not just a man and a woman, but it was male voices, female voices. They were really loud in here. It sounded like they could have been in the next room.
Yeah.
They were just
And
talking to each other.
I heard the same thing when I was actually getting ready for bed. I lay down. I heard, you know, it sounded like conversation in the next room, and it just kept getting louder and louder. And I just, you know, tried to ignore it. And I went to sleep, and I heard the radio again, the radio sound that we hear. And
To wake me up to bring me back to bed. And that's when
So what
Yeah.
happened?
I'd come around in here, and all the lights were off. And right when I got by the stairway, something said, "Hey," you know, just a real low, just "Hey."
Like a man or a woman?
It sounded like a man, and it sounded like they were whispering, but it was really loud.
Okay.
And I thought she was speaking to me. You know, I thought I woke her up, and I thought she was speaking to me. And it did it again. And like I said, I was right in front of the stairway, and it felt like it was right there in my face. You know, so I turned the light on, and she was snoring. She was sound asleep, and I woke her up. You know, and
I got one.
and after that, you know, she wanted to stay on the couch. She was asleep, and so I just, you know.
So what did you do?
I left
Where did you go?
outside.
You slept outside?
I went out to the car.
You slept in your car?
Yeah, I went out in the car and sat for a few minutes and fell asleep.
Okay.
But it was
So
I mean, it was a
it's
real,
frightening enough that you felt the need to go outside the house.
Yeah, it wasn't really just the hay or whatever, you know, because that, I mean that,
Right.
you know, but it was like
Combination.
I felt something, you know, I really felt something, and it was like, you know,
Did you feel it didn't want you here?
kind of it was a real uneasy feeling. It was like, you know, it just felt like since there was somebody else here, and it just,
Okay.
Yeah. It usually always happens. Well, before, a couple of years ago, we had a lot of activity around the stairwell. If I'm walking from the kitchen, into the other room, I would see something peripherally right around the stairs. And when you came, I never saw the lights like you said you saw and what other people have seen. I've never seen those by the stairs. But then when I was watching, when y'all were in the garage and you were filming all the rooms, and I was in the garage watching the stairwell at that time, and there all these lights were around the stairwell, and right where I see things moving
Kind of like
by the front door.
like right after we got here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that same night when I went outside, I was telling you, when I went outside and I was in the car, it looked like she kept opening the curtains up on the living room, and I'd see a flash of light, and I wouldn't see it. It was like she was opening the curtains up.
Opening and closing.
Yeah, and it would do it in one window, it would do it in the door, it would do it in the window.
And this is why you were in your car.
Yeah, and she was asleep on the couch. There was no lights on or anything like that. Nothing. And it was
Was
just,
it like a
it
was
wasn't-
it like a light or like a ball of light?
It was
or
like a ball of light. It wasn't like the light was on in the room and she pulled the curtains open. It was just like,
a ball of light in the
yeah,
window.
like a flash.
Flashing.
Yeah.
Flashing ball of light. That's common.
But I completely was expecting that thing that happened last time you all were here a while back, the second time you came.
When I came back to ask them to leave,
Right.
and you actually saw them exit.
Right, when they were setting off the motion detectors and they were coming in the room with us. And after that, a night or two after that you left, it was around 5 in the morning, my dog started just going insane. She was barking in here. She was barking, looking this way. She was
No,
standing there.
originally you told me that was the same night, because that was
Was it the
next
same
morning.
night?
Yeah,
Okay, the same night. Well, that was like,
that's been a couple years ago.
yeah, a couple years
Yeah.
ago.
It was pretty nasty in here then.
Yeah, and around 5 in the morning, she started barking, and she was standing right there, and she was facing this way, and she was just barking and growling and acting like she was going to attack. And there was this. It was dark in the whole house. It looked like it was getting ready to be light outside. It was a weird looking lighter color, but it was bright. It wasn't
Like a
like
fog
light.
or-
It was
yeah,
like, yeah, it was
like
like
something
it was
was
like
trying
a
to
light fog.
manifest.
Yeah, it was like a light fog, and it wasn't like a ball. It was just an area of just a lighter color, and it was real bright. Well, it was kind of dim, and then it got bright, and then it went away.
Was it moving through the room?
No,
It was where your dog was
it
barking?
was right in this area right here. It was real low. At first, when I came in, I thought the light was coming in through the window because it was 5 o'clock in the morning. But then it got brighter, and it looked like a light fog, like you said. And it got lighter, and then it got real bright, and then it went away. And as soon as it went away, she just turned around and lay down and went to sleep.
So your dog acknowledged it there. and
Right.
It went away, everything was fine. It's quite possible that you also just have an attachment with you as well. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, sometimes there's just spirits that attach to people.
Yeah, I'm not afraid
For
anymore
different
of them.
reasons. I mean, if it's not something evil, I get used to it. And in this line of work, I'm generally always going to have some kind of attachment in my house with me.
Right.
And, I make the ground rules, and they actually follow them.
Yeah, but when I lived in my house in Midtown, I would never tell anybody because I just knew everyone would think I was crazy.
Right.
Because if somebody was telling me that, I would think that they're crazy.
Right.
But because I don't understand it, I would just kind of ignore it, even though I knew it was happening, and it made me feel crazy. Because I don't understand it.
Right.
And like he said, he's like, I'm not afraid of anyone, I'm not afraid of anything. But this, I don't understand.
A lot of it, when you don't understand something, it does become quite frightful.
Right,
So,
right.
In this, I do this, I understand it. So, to me, it's just part of the job.
Right.
So
Well-
it doesn't cause me to have any fear at all.
Right. But I keep telling him, I'm not
Are
afraid.
you seeing something?
Yeah, I've been seeing it for a minute.
What do you see?
It's like little pops of light.
I will tell you quite often here, every time I'm investigated, I get a lot of sparkly lights.
Yeah.
Like
It was
little
like-
sparkles falling. which is something that I have not experienced before. So
It was over by the stairway, and on the other side of the stairwell. I've been seeing it for a minute. I thought it was just nothing, but it's.
Are you
it
recording
actually
that?
we were actually seeing that when we investigated upstairs in the room before.
Mhm.
All of our investigators saw it, but we didn't know if we were going to capture it. We actually did capture it on video. So
I mean, it was pretty noticeable. It kept catching my eye. And
yeah, well, they're probably curious what's going on right now. So I mean, there's always, in my opinion, there's always spirits everywhere. What we have to worry about is the nasties you bring home from work.
Yeah.
Because of the line of work you're in.
And that's what I was afraid of this last time, is that it was something bad, because it was starting to yell at me, and I've never had anything in my face yelling at me like that. And that, the first time it happened, I thought, well, I'm waking up. Second time it happened right after I woke up, and that really concerned me. And so when you came after that a couple months ago, I was really hoping that you got rid of that, because I've never felt that in this house before.
Have you had that again since we were here
No.
before? Okay.
But
We're just going to have to keep getting rid of them as you bring them home, because that's just going to be, because you are one of those people that you're open. That's the only way I know how to describe that. So people that are open, they sense that, they know, and they will follow you, because
Awesome.
you can hear them and see them. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, on your job, you're going to pick up a few nasties. It's not a big deal. Just call me.
yeah, but it's.
I will come in here and take care of them. Would you like me to turn my cell phone off?
It's just kind of weird, because I do kind of shut them off, and when it happens and I see them or I hear them, I just blow it off, because I'm not afraid of them at all. So I don't even acknowledge them anymore. Like, when it was yelling at me, I acknowledged it then.
Under no circumstances ever try to communicate with them. Ever. Don't acknowledge them. You guys can work out a signal if you want to just acknowledge to each other that you're hearing something. Discuss it later. I don't think that you have something that's following you around like you did when we first came out. We took care of that, so I think that problem is solved, but they're going to be in the residence. So the main thing to remember is don't. What was that?
Sound
The
like
dog.
the dog.
Did you think it was the dog? I didn't either. I thought it came from over there.
yeah, it was a voice. It wasn't a dog.
I thought it was a voice as well.
Sound like the white Blanca to me.
She's outside.
I know. That's where I thought it came from. Was
The noise.
I like.
Did I put sheets
I
on
like.
the bed up there? Because I have clean sheets right there. I can put some sheets.
There you
We
go.
could set
You
up-
have a place to stay
We could set up the
tonight.
motion detector and all that. You could debunk when that red light goes beep beep when that ghost comes
Trust me,
running
I'll
in the
find
room.
the reason.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I was like, air
What would be
conditioner
that reason
kicking
when
on.
the motion
Yeah.
detector keeps going off when it's coming in and out, and then you see the light in the hallway
Well, see, I'm
when it
that
comes
person.
in?
I try to put a rhyme with a reason every time.
He doesn't do it now.
But
now
the stuff that we've been, like at night when we hear it, when we're in the bed, there's you just can't put anything with it. There's nothing in
Well,
the
I'll
house.
tell you, this last investigation, I don't think we got one single EVP.
Really?
Not one. He and I heard a lot of stuff, but you couldn't hear it. We didn't get anything.
Really?
That was unusual.
See, when
Wow.
Dwayne was over here the other night, and he had his radar on his phone on.
Like
He
you
was-
put it on
He
the
was
other day?
he was really taunting, like talking and taunting, and
Now you get
Provoking.
you
Yeah.
get Dwayne in here, he'll provoke it, and y'all will hear some stuff, because Dwayne's one of the ones that it doesn't like.
he was
Whenever he
really
comes in-
like really taunting and provoking, and I'm like, please don't do that, please don't do that.
Whenever he comes in, it starts hitting the walls, and you hear stuff. When he comes in,
And you could
it doesn't
actually
like
see.
him.
Well, it doesn't matter what we do in here.
You
If
could actually
someone
see
like
his
that
radar.
comes in here, then it's gonna provoke it, and it's going to agitate it, and then things are gonna get incredibly worse.
Yeah, I
When
don't
he
want.
got
I
to
don't want it
provoking
to
and
be.
taunting, you could actually see the magnetic thing on his radar. It was fluctuating. I mean, it go all, you know.
Well, they can maneuver electronics. I mean, I've seen them do all sorts of things. We learned something new when we were here last time. We tried a different technique, which I will show you in just a moment. But
Well, whatever's here, it's probably sitting right there in the stairs.
well, I'm
watching you.
sure there's probably the world is filled with spirits. They're everywhere. I mean, we just have to accept that we live in the same space with them.
Right.
And it's too complicated to even go into. I mean, you're going to get into religion and everything else, but we know that sometimes you get some that come here with you, and it's going to be worse with someone like that here provoking. So
And now even though we don't understand it, I believe. I mean, you have to believe when you have to live in it. When you live in it, it's one thing. When you watch it on TV, it's another. And when you try to tell people about it, and they're looking at you going,
yeah.
I mean, no one at
You
work. I
have
can't
to
tell anybody at work.
experience,
Yeah, because what you see on TV, it leaves out the emotion, and it leaves out the experience.
And it's TV. I mean,
Yeah.
let's face it.
But
Everybody looks
everything's-
at it as it's TV. But the problem with this is it's reality. I mean, I cannot tell you in the years that I've been doing this, the kind of things that I have witnessed. I mean, that you don't even see in your worst nightmares.
Right.
So it's important that you listen to me on some of those things I told you about. Do not have a Ouija board in here, no tarot cards, don't have anybody here provoking. The line of work you're in, that is a very dangerous place you're treading.
It's frightening. It's frightening because I have a gun, and what am I gonna do?
And the gun's not going to help.
Right.
That's just
It's like you're powerless. You are powerless. It comes in and it does what it wants, and
Well, you
I
have
don't
to keep your
understand it.
faith. I mean, the faith is the most important thing in this. But when you've got people in here provoking and doing those things, it's different. A lot of what you're dealing with is these people, spirits, are coming home with you from these crime scenes because they know that you can hear and see them. They have something to tell you. You know that we've called you. We've stopped in the middle of investigations and we've called you to tell you what we're hearing.
Mhm.
One thing that you don't know is part of something that came to me on this last visit was Holly Bobo.
Mhm.
So we got some information on that case.
the radio.
It was
sound
just
is-
like it wanted attention, which I'm sure, if you can imagine wandering around in darkness with no one to talk to, you just want somebody to acknowledge your existence. You know, they don't know if they're even existing. It's kind of sad, really. So, as long as we're not dealing with something demonic,
Right.
then you have nothing to fear. And if it's demonic, you still have nothing to fear, just call me.
Oh, you
And if
know,
it's demonic, you,
I
will know, because things will be flying off the walls, the tables,
Yeah.
and just keep an eye on, part of what they do. Even evil entities sometimes will come in and try to separate you. They will also try to isolate you. So the first thing they do is try to interfere with your job. They want you at home, away from everybody, and that's their goal. Okay.
But then sometimes we'll actually hear like a radio, like music type stuff, and then we'll hear talking. And out like last night, I heard some music, and when he first started spending the night a few months ago, I asked him one night, "Do you hear the radio?" And he's like, "No." I said, "Sometimes when I lay my head down, I hear the radio, but when I go up like that, I won't really hear it."
You don't have any type of speaker system in the house. Or
There's no intercom, no
No
speaker,
CB
no
radio.
surround sound.
I don't even have a radio.
Weather radio.
I don't have a radio.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, when we go to bed, it's totally quiet, totally dark. There's a fan going.
How long does it take when you go to bed before you start hearing it?
Sometimes immediately,
Right away,
and sometimes we can be laying back there for a little while, and then
and we'll be talking to each other.
and hear, or we've been asleep and both been woken up, and hear stuff.
Okay. How long have you been hearing the radio sounds? Was it like before we came or since we used the ghost box?
Since you used that, I was trying to remember last time. I actually thought that it was mimicking the ghost box because it sounds like the radio's on, and then it kind of picks what songs it wants to
Okay.
speak through.
So it just likes to, what we have here is a mischievous spirit that likes to mimic things.
Yes.
Whether it be the dog or you guys or the radio.
Mhm. That's mostly what it's done since I've lived here.
Okay.
What did it say?
Catch you trying to hide.
Catch you trying to hide?
Did you hear it?
It was really.
That was a pretty, that was
Yeah.
Class A EVP right there. One more time.
Who was it talking to?
A lot of them, they were talking amongst themselves when we were here before.
That'll make you a little bit more comfortable.
Wow.
Cool.
That was cool.
Alright.
That's where the motion detector went off.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the light stayed.
Would you like to know more?
So now we're tuned into it.
Do you want to know something about me?
Alright, you know a little bit about us, so if we ask some questions about you, could you answer yes with one flash, no with two flashes? Thank you.
Just let me know you're still here. I feel you touching me, but I'd like you to light the flashlight up, please. Thank you.
Wow, and they keep it on.
So you can see I'm tripped out by it too. It's only permanent right now.
Wow.
Are you a man? Thank you.
Did you see something move across the floor?
Rewind it again.
It's real faint, but you can see it move across there. Do you like hope? Thank you.
Do you like her boyfriend?
What the fuck was that?
That's a good question.
Where did it sound like it was coming
That
from?
sounded like it was coming from like right here.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It did. Like right in our face.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you heard what I heard.
Like a growl.
Uh-huh. Is that why you're not communicating with us now? Whatever that was?
Are you a demon?
No.
Well, that's good. That was just the batteries, right?
I don't know. Are you trying to tell us that there is something evil in here?
I heard
Ready
that.
to.
Did you hear that?
Like
And I
like
just
a
heard
growl.
it just now.
Yeah.
A growling sound?
Uh-huh.
Right after that.
Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Like right after the click? Why don't you illuminate so that we can see you on the camera? Is there a little girl here? Are you hiding? Come talk to me.
Oh, something just flew right in front of my camera. Big.
Would you like to take a break and us come back? Let you rest for a little bit?
Or you can follow us downstairs.
Over here. Or was it your wonky? Light behind the camera. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Why don't you come over here in front of the camera? I swear there's a face looking into that camera from behind it.
Sure it's not the sheets?
Positive.
Hell was that?
What?
Loud thud. You didn't
I
hear
did hear the thud, but I thought you were asking about me clearing my throat.
No.
What the fuck is that?
Is that you making the noise? I was afraid to ask him to do it again.
Do it again.
Thank you, Angela.
You're welcome. Are you afraid? Are you trying to scare us? I mean, it's not going away. I see a little person standing. I see a face. Don't you touch that flashlight. What are you doing?
I was leaning, I'm shifting, I'm trying to see what you see.
Oh.
Well, that's your
Come
hand.
over here, Bert. Come over here. Back behind that camcorder. Do you see it?
Like I said, I just see the sheets.
It even has a shadow.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man.
When you flash the camera, there's no sheets there.
Here, just comfort food. Okay, up arrow controls. Alright, flash. Hey. So that's probably messed up the camera.
Probably.
There's a red light right here. Did you see it?
Mm-mm.
You didn't see it, did you?
What was it?
A blinking red light. Blinked twice.
Where was it?
Up here against the wall.
Why don't you come over here by us and show yourself?
Air's back on.
Huh?
Air's back on.
Yeah, there's back on. I thought I heard something shuffling. Are you over here with us? Turn the flashlight on. Make a loud noise or scream really loud. Make yourself light up, glow, illuminate so the camera can see you. Do you know how to make yourself manifest? Is there someone on the stairs?
don't see why you have a problem with us. Seems like everybody else that comes in here that's practically strangers to you, you immediately do something to get their attention.
Is it because you're scared of us?
Yeah, I know you do that.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
It's coming from behind the camera.
I also hear voices downstairs.
Treat us like you would treat them.
You know what noise it sounds like? Like when a light bulb is blown and you shake it?
That rattle?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. Make a really loud noise. Did you hear that?
I hear like a bunch of walking. It sounded like, to me, it sounded like footsteps coming up the stairs.
I heard a loud
That's what I
noise
heard.
down there. Do we need to go downstairs?
I don't know if that's a car from outside, but it sounds like just like a steady beat. I don't know if that's somebody's radio or not. It's gotta be a radio outside.
I don't mind telling you I don't hear anything.
No, I'm just hearing like a steady.
How come the lights? Oh, there it goes. Something's touching my cleavage.
Do you want me to zoom in?
No.
Okay. Well, your necklace is moving. Well, it was swinging.
It was swinging?
Yeah.
Why is it swinging?
I don't know if it was from you moving, but your necklace was swinging whenever you said that. So,
Well, my necklace never has swung before.
well, I was doing some jiggling. The necklace. We have humor in our investigations.
It's my Saint Benedict and Saint Michael pendants. I'm still feeling it again.
Touching your arm. Well, I see it's moving.
My necklace?
Uh-huh.
Something's messing with it.
Right, yes.
Like big time messing with it.
Yeah, I mean, you're swinging a good bit and you're not even moving. I mean, it looks like it's...
Are you messing with my necklace? It stopped.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's moving again. Wow.
And I'm remaining completely still. Do you like my necklace? Is it moving again?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you show yourself? Can you light up? Why don't you illuminate so that we can see you on the camera? you make my necklace move? Make it move again. Can you make a noise? Will you make a noise? I think something was touching my chin. Do something. It's touching my arm.
Same place.
It's up higher this time. Are you touching me? I should get one of those flashlights that we have downstairs that with the screw off tops and do the flashlight test.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Pick up.
When we go downstairs.
I'll go down to the bedroom. So apparently the party left from up here.
I feel like there's something not so good in here right now.
Not good meaning.
Like something bad. Is that why you're not talking to us?
Can you speak to me through the walkie?
You don't have to be afraid. Are you afraid of something? Ever since whatever growled there, it's not doing it anymore. If there's something that is keeping them from communicating with us, I want you to move back now. Get away and let them communicate with us. I'm seeing lights in different places in the room.
I don't know, it almost seemed like that corner over there got a whole lot darker.
It did get darker over there. And I saw a light over here and a light over there. From something that just went by.
You may think you're in control, but you're not. We are in control.
So you need to back the fuck up and let them continue talking to us. It's okay, you don't have to be afraid. You can come back over here and turn the flashlight on for us. Turn it back on. You can do it. Don't be afraid.
Thank you.
Good job, thank you. Is there something holding you here? And making you stay here against your will? Do you know that I can protect you?
Do you want her to protect you?
Alright, dude, back the fuck up again. I feel it closing in on us.
Seems like got a little bit more chillier.
Back up again. I'm ordering you to stay back. You don't have to be afraid now. You can light it back up. Light the flashlight back up.
We're not getting upset at you. We just don't want you to feel. We don't want you to be a prisoner. Be held here. If you choose not to be. That's what I felt.
It's getting really cold. I'm like shivering cold.
I told you in the beginning that you cannot harm us, and we're not going to allow you to. So whatever you plan on doing, or whatever you're doing right now, you can just stop. So we did not give you permission.
You can't do anything without an invitation or permission, and you have none. We're speaking to anything that has evil intent. If you don't have evil intent, you just want to communicate with us, turn the flashlight on. We'll let you do that.
We give you permission to turn the flashlight on.
I'm fucking freezing. I didn't bring anything up here with us to check the temperature. I need to get the millimeter.
It's on the stairs, isn't it? Or is that on the table?
It's on the table. I am like,
Every other time the air conditioner's been on, it hasn't been like this.
it feels like it's like 50 degrees. Are you making it colder in here?
Are you trying to manifest?
Is there someone wrapped around me? Is there someone touching me? It's starting to warm up. Do you want him to move that walkie out of the way? Is that better? Are you scared of it? Is there something in the bathroom?
Is it me, or does the air conditioner sound like it's making a way different noise? Almost sounds like a heater's on.
I didn't notice a difference. Can you stomp on the floor? Good job.
Thank you.
Can you stomp on the floor, knock on the wall? Make a noise for me? Are you still afraid? Did you see that? The red light that was on the camcorder, either that or something went in front of it.
I'm wondering if it's when we look off and we pan across, if it's something that, if that's just following, you know what I mean?
What now?
That light, you know, seeing how it's the only light that's on when we're off looking somewhere else. I wonder if that, when we turn our attention to something else, if it'll, you know,
If it'll what?
if it follows with it,
I don't know what you mean.
like playing tricks on us.
Oh. I know something just went in front of that camcorder though, because the infrared light that's on the bottom, yeah, I thought so. Thank you. The infrared light that's on the bottom disappeared for a minute. A second. Can you turn it back off? Turn the flashlight back off, please.
Cold again. It's like 90 degrees outside.
I know.
It's freezing in here.
Mm-hmm. And it's been hot in here. Turn the light off, please. Can you try? You're not trying. I'll let you see my lip gloss if you'll turn it off. Do you want to see my lip gloss? Well, I'm going to take it out and put some more. If I can find it. Ah, you do want to see it, huh?
Thanks for turning off the lights for that one.
I'm working. Now I can't find the hole. Can you turn the light on for me, please? I'm only barking out. So.
She has an attic, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm. They haven't barked all night. They're like growling and shit.
It seems like there's a lot of commotion that goes on whenever they're about to go to sleep or when they are asleep. Thank you.
You don't want them to sleep? You want them to stay awake and talk to you? Or you don't want them in the bedroom?
Is it because you feel more comfortable when they are asleep? I feel like laying down.
I'm just doing the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I think there's something in the bathroom.
Catch it. The camera's aiming straight down the hallway. Feel free to carry on a conversation. Make some noise.
Knock on the wall. Stomp on the floor. Turn the flashlight on. to talk to us?
Someone like a thud downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Do you want us to stay up here?
Almost sounds like a motorcycle outside, but I don't know.
I know, I heard some kind of growl or something.
Do you feel as if this is your home? And you want help out of it?